Welcome to part 3 of the series on how to play Diablo with Hamachi without fully disabling the firewall. In this video, I will go through the scripts to automatically adjust the firewall and more that I've provided in part 2 and explain what are they doing in detail. As I mentioned previously, this might be helpful if you get any errors while running the script, want to adjust it to your own needs, or simply understand what's exactly happening to your computer. Spoiler alert, not much is happening, it's a small and simple script. This video might be a bit advanced if you never encountered Windows scripting, but if you just follow along there shouldn't be any difficulties, and if there is you can just watch part 2 and part 1. Starting off with script 1, all the script does is run a PowerShell command to run script 2 in unrestricted mode. This is simply needed to be able to run commands in script 2 because some of them require elevated access. This little piece of code right here means that this is the current path where script 1 is, and we also add the script 2 name near the end, which means that the command will try to find the file in the path specified. If you want to add the script's files somewhere else, you can just specify the path manually. For example, I could put the script1 file on my desktop and specify the path to script2 file like this. If you do this, just keep in mind that you still need to run script1 as an administrator manually, or create a shortcut to it and make it that it does so automatically as we did in part 2. We can transfer script2 elsewhere as well in a similar fashion, which I will explain later. Opening the script2 file itself, we can see that these commands are ran. First, we start the Hamachi service, which will also run the Hamachi client, at least in the Hamachi version that I'm using. You can find Hamachi, Diablo, and Windows versions that I'm using in the description. Usually the Hamachi service should be called as stated here, but if you get an error on this line while running the script, you might need to adjust the service name. You can find out what the service is called on your PC by opening Services. You can just do it by typing in Services in the Windows search. After you open Services, find the Hamachi service. In my case, it is called LogMeIn Hamachi Tunneling Engine, but this is not the name we need. The name we need is inside. Go to Service Properties, and here you can see the actual name. So if yours not the same as mine, all you need to do is copy the one displayed here and replace this one. And here we're simply printing out what's going on. There will be more lines like this. In this block of code, we're waiting for Hamachi service to start up. We check every 600 milliseconds for 20 times if Hamachi service is up and running. Usually this piece of code executes almost instantly, but you can adjust the numbers if needed. Next, we disable the firewall's public profiles protected network connection as we did manually in part 1 of the series. Only for Hamachi though. With this line, we get the current path that this script is at and the Diablo executable name. If you want to put script 2 elsewhere, just do it like I showed you with script 1. Keep in mind though that script 1 also needs to know the location of script 2, so if you move script 2, you will need to adjust script 1 as I mentioned before. And this next line will run Diablo and will wait while Diablo is running. Once Diablo quits, the script continues and this line will run, which will make it so that all protected network connections are checked again. Usually, all of them should be checked by default, but if for some reason you have other connections that you want to leave unchecked, you should look into how to run this command only for Hamachi. Or you could extend this script by unchecking the desired connections with this command. So you would copy paste this command here and change the name accordingly. Or you could even delete this command and always leave Hamachi unchecked if you're comfortable with that, though I do not recommend it. Next, we stop the Hamachi service, which will also close the Hamachi client, at least on the version I'm using. If you don't want to close Hamachi, just delete this line. That's it. Now that you understand what's going on, you can adjust the script as needed. As I mentioned in part 2 of the series, if you get any errors while executing the script and the command window closes before you could see what error was printed out, you should run the script not by double-clicking but by manually running the script in the command prompt as an administrator. This way, if you get an error, the command window won't close by itself. If you want to see how to do this step by step, just watch part 2. And again, if you get any errors which you can't resolve, post them in the comments.